Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. It's Paulie Esther here, and well, today Dead by Daylight put out this statement about what they plan to do going forward with the mid-chapter based on all the feedback that people provided over the public test build that we tested last week. So let's see what they've come up with. You've seen some content creators go so far as to say that if the patch went through, it would kill the game. So let's see what they decided to do. Brace yourself. Is Dead by Daylight going to kill their golden goose? What is going on? What are the changes going to look like here? Thank you to everyone who shared their detailed feedback on the Tools of Torment mid-chapter public test build with us. We've combed through all of it and have reviewed some changes. Learn more here. So let's see what's going on. You and I are going to find out together. We're at a critical juncture, if you ask me. Let's see what happens here. The developer update, April 2023. Here we go. It's been a little over a week since the Tools of Torment mid-chapter hit the public test build, the server where we test out and fine-tune upcoming changes before pushing them live. As always, our team has been combing through your feedback and identifying room for improvement before the update debuts on the live servers. We want to start by giving a huge thank you to everyone who took the time to leave detailed and constructive feedback. Thank you. Your feedback has helped shape this update's release. In this month's developer update, we'll reveal all the changes we made to the mid-chapter between the PTB and the live release. Healing. Possibly the hottest topic since it was announced, the PTB raised the base healing time to 24 seconds from the usual 16 seconds. Some tweaks were made to medkits with this in mind. Changing such a fundamental part of the game is a very touchy subject, so we kept an extra close eye on this change to see how it would play out. After reviewing player feedback, we found that many of you agreed that the speed which you heal others was already in a good spot prior to the update. This change also had knock-on effects. This change also had knock-on effects elsewhere in the game, making effects like mangled and hemorrhage stronger and making slugging, leaving survivors in the dying state, even more effective. Therefore, we have reverted the base healing time to 16 seconds. Now, if some of you didn't take part in the PTB or see any of the video surrounding it, yeah, self-care took an inordinately long time. It was like, I don't know, 68 seconds, I think, just for a common self-care to heal yourself. And then effects like mangled, coulrophobia, dying light, pentimento, things like that increased it. And you could put together these niche scenarios with you're standing right beside a killer with coulrophobia. It would take you over 6 minutes to self-care. Obviously, that's an outlier scenario. But in general, healing was painfully long. On the other hand, we found there was a lot of support for tuning down medkits in particular. Medkits allowed survivors to heal themselves multiple times whenever it was convenient to them, leaving their teammates free to work on generators while they do so. We've decided to shift our focus to medkits with a series of changes. First and foremost, all medkits will have a total of 24 charges, the same as the PTB. Second, we've increased the healing speed bonus when healing others across all medkits. The new bonus is as follows. Camping First Aid increases the speed that you heal others by 35%. First Aid Kit by 40%, Emergency Med Kit by 45%, and Ranger Med Kit increases the speed you heal others by 50%. I have, for a long time, felt like med kits were very powerful, obviously superior to self-care. So it always made more sense for me to invest those blood points in my trial by bringing a med kit rather than using a perk slot or a slower, although infinite, self-heal with self-care. So I'm not surprised that medkits are taking a hit. Thirdly, all medkits will now have a 33% speed and efficiency penalty when used for self-healing. This will reduce the number of times a medkit can be used to heal yourself and make it take longer to do so. This means that a medkit will, by default, grant one self-heal over the span of 24 seconds before factoring in add-ons. Combined, these changes will decrease the power of medkits when used for self-healing, but increase their power when used for healing teammates in return. We all know you'll probably continue to use them for self-heals, but at least the choice is there. And last, but not least, In light of the tweaks above, we've made some adjustments to various medkit add-ons. Let's see here. Rubber gloves increases great skill check zone by 10%. Butterfly tape increases healing speed by 5%. Sponge has a new effect, increases the great skill check zone by 20%. Needle and thread added effect, increases progression bonus for succeeding a great skill check by 5%. Remove the effect, it no longer provides bonus blood points for hitting great skill checks. The medical scissors increases healing speed by 10%. Surgical suture has an added effect, increases progression bonus for succeeding a great skill check by 10%. No longer provides blood point bonus for hitting great skill checks. Abdominal dressing increases healing speed by 15%. Rarity increased to very rare. It was a rare item. Gel dressings, it adds 16 charges to the medkit. It was 14. Rarity increased to ultra rare. It was rare. And the anti-hemorrhagic syringe. While this add-on is unchanged, please note that its healing speed will be reduced by the medkit self-healing penalty, resulting in a 24-second heal by default. Yeah, that was something that we saw in the PTB where, you know, your needle took a lot longer to take effect. So when you hit yourself with that needle, you're going to have to stay away from the killer for 24 seconds before it's going to heal you. Interesting. We hope these changes will tone down medkits when used for self-healing while making them more appealing for altruistic heals. All right, all right. Next, the Hillbilly. Oh, poor Hillbilly. I don't play Hillbilly, so when I read through it the first time, I didn't realize how oppressive the Doom engravings changes were. I was just like, oh, they're making it so he doesn't overheat. That's good, but I didn't realize they were like killing like what people felt like were his only viable add-ons. Meanwhile, you know, Blight is fine. Okay. The Hillbilly. On the PTB, we tested out some changes for the Hillbilly, both toning down the overheat mechanic and adjusting 2 of his top performing add-ons. While the overheat mechanic felt less oppressive, many of you raised concerns with the changes to the engraving add-ons, reminding us that these add-ons allowed the Hillbilly's power to be used in more situations. This overshadowed the overheat adjustments and made the whole package feel like a downgrade. And for the release, we have reverted the changes to the Death engravings and the Doom engraving add-ons. Hey, you 5 Hillbilly players out there must be very happy. We have kept the tweaks to the overheat mechanic to make it less limiting than before, making the Hillbilly feel better to play. Now, I'm obviously in favor of something that makes the Hillbilly feel better to play because his pick rate has just gone down to the bottom, if you ask me. Very rarely am I seeing Hillbillies. I've seen them a little bit more recently, but in the past month when I did my census. But before that, I was lucky to see like a Hillbilly a month. So anything that was like making him less attractive was just mind-boggling. All right, here we go. Getting into the perks here. Oh, the Dead Hard's going to be the big one, right? Let's see. Here we go. Scourge Hooks 2. Perks. The PTB featured updates to various perks, including some meta options for both Killer and Survivor. When it comes to toning down a powerful perk, some level of contention is expected. But with that said, we've heard some very convincing arguments for a few of these perks, so we have done some fine-tuning before the changes go live. Dead Hard. Let's see. Since reducing the endurance effect any further would make Dead Hard too finicky to use, we instead opted to limit the number of times it could be used by requiring a safe unhook to activate the perk. While this had the intended result of limiting the number of times it appeared in a match and preventing it from being used in the first chase in a match, some of you pointed out that this new design indirectly encouraged the killer to chase the unhooked survivor. Me, I said that. Yes. This makes a lot of sense. The unhooker may have activated their Dead Hard, but you can be sure that the unhooked survivor does not have it. Yes, I said that. Okay. For the updates release, we have changed Dead Hard to instead activate when you are unhooked or unhook yourself. This way, the unhooked survivor becomes less of a clear target for the killer. Yes, that's what I said. I said the person who is hooked should get their Dead Hard activated, because then it allows it to become more of an anti-tunneling component. Yes. Yes, that's what I said. And also, you had this weird thing where with the person doing the unhooking, it had to be a safe unhook. So if they came in and got the unhook, they had to wait a certain number of seconds before their dead hard would even be given to them. So that was really weird. Yes. This is pretty much what I said on stream, right? I said the person getting hooked should have their dead hard activated, because then you know that every time you're chasing a person for the first time, they don't have dead hard. You never have to deal with the dead hard on an initial chase if they haven't been hooked, which can make for shorter chases. That's the idea. So yeah, this is like exactly what I said should happen. I'm very pleased. Okay, here we go. Scourge Hook Pain Resonance. On the PTB, Pain Resonance was changed to only activate the first time each survivor is placed on a Scourge Hook. This change was specifically made to reduce the number of times Pain Resonance could activate in a given match, especially later in the match when one or more survivors were likely to be sacrificed. While this did have the intended result, many pointed out that this left the perk in a fairly weak state. Agreed. Not quite stacking up to other regression perks. Considering Scourge Hook Pain Resonance can now only activate 4 times in a match and requires the killer to target different survivors, we feel comfortable making it more rewarding for killers who choose to take the perk, take on the added challenge. Therefore, we have increased the regression amount of Scourge Hook Pain Resonance to 25%. It was 15%. We hope those who choose not to chase the unhooked survivor will find this perk much more rewarding. So the gain here is if you go after a new person to get another Scourge Hook stack, it's going to take 25% off of the gen. We'll see. We'll see. I still think that perk got significantly weaker, and the other regression perks are better, but we'll see what happens. At least they did something. Boon Circle of Healing. Since this perk no longer grants the self-heal ability, Circle of Healing found itself in an awkward spot. Yeah, like garbage? The altruistic heal speed bonus was nice, but when you crunch the numbers, Circle of Healing rarely provided any benefit. A 50% healing speed bonus would only shave roughly 5 seconds off a heal, but it's easy to spend that much time running over to the Boon's area of effect. And that doesn't even begin to factor in the time it takes to set it up. With this in mind, we have increased the healing speed bonus on Circle of Healing to 100%. While this won't make setting up or running to the Boon the optimal choice in every situation, we expect this to make it more impactful than the Boon is if the Boon is nearby. All right, that's an interesting change, just because of that super heal speed now. Does it make it worth setting up? I think most people were bringing Circle of Healing to give themselves self-care and set up a safe area for other teammates to go to as well. The fact that you can't heal yourself and weakens what was a very powerful perk incredibly. I don't know if people will still bring this because, you know, as the description says here, you have to set it up. Then you're going to take the time to run over there to heal in that area. You might as well just heal wherever you are rather than running to the Boon, unless like it is really close by. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. I still think the pick rate is going to drop incredibly on that. Last but not least, Autohaven Wreckers. We managed to sneak in one more change into the Autohaven Wreckers map updates. A while back, we added some new tiles to the realm, and one of these tiles, which featured a window and pallet, ended up being fairly unsafe. We rebalanced this tile, but unfortunately it didn't make it into the PTB in time. However, an updated version of this tile will be available upon release. Take a look. Okay. With that, we've reached the end of the developer update. We want to once again thank everyone who gave the changes a try and left detailed and constructive feedback. Our team will continue to keep a close eye on things once the update goes live to ensure that everything goes smoothly. Until next time, the Dead by Daylight team. So what do you think about these changes? Is it enough? Is it still too oppressive? This is, you know, one of the hotly contested developer updates in recent memory. Perhaps even more hotly contested than when they did the update to shake up the entire meta on all of the perks. So, but what do you think? I want to hear from you. I like to hear what the community has to say. And I also would like to hear from the developers. I would like to have a little bit more of that transparency, not just in these blog posts, but like some live on camera, response that gives humanity to the devs, and they can explain to us what their vision is, the trajectory they want to take the game on, where do they see it going, what's prompting these changes, perhaps with statistical data to say we needed to change this because XYZ. I would love to see a little bit more exposition on their part to explain to us where they see the game going, because, I have some people who, at the end of the day, the goal should be to make the game more fun overall for everyone, right? And I see a lot of people who are expressing to me that they've quit, or all their friends have quit because the game isn't as fun as it used to be. It's more stressful. And yeah, so I would like to see the devs address some of this, because at the end of the day, it should be more fun. Now, you can obviously make the argument, hey, the killers haven't been having fun for a long time. The killers are the one who have been under stress for a long time, which is very fair. Very fair. But I just see a lot of people saying that the game is so gen-focused, Gen Rush life, that you can't play as relaxed anymore, and it's just stressful, and one mistake can cost you the whole game, things like that. But, the killers can be like, yeah, welcome to my world. That's the way it's been for me for the last 5-6 years, so hello. But yeah, I would like to see the devs kind of express some of this, because the game does have a lot of pressure, where if you're doing a challenge, or if you're just like, hey, I'm going to go out and do a fun build today, where I'm just going to go plundering the chest and I'm not going to help advance the objective at all, you're probably all going to die. So there's little wiggle room for, the fun builds out there, which makes you wonder, yeah, that's why everybody's going to meta, because that's the only way they can survive. So I would like to see the devs come forward with a little more with, we used to have these weekly fireside chats. And when's the last time we had an on-camera stream where they explain stuff to us? Now, there's some there's some factors that go into why maybe that necessarily has not happened, because devs get paid to dev. And there are some people out there who like to take shots at things that the devs say on camera, which, who needs it? Why would you want to put yourself in that position where you can go on camera and say things and be ridiculed and mocked and memed? Who needs it? I'm pretty sure that wasn't what the vision they saw for their job when they signed up to develop, work on, and balance the game. So yeah, I don't blame them for not wanting to put their face in the camera. But having said that, they do have people who are the face of the community, these community managers, that it is kind of part of their job to have that role to deliver information to the community. So I'd like to see more of that, but I don't know what's going to happen. Anyway, I feel like we're getting off on a big tangent here, but more transparency is always better, and you have to be willing to take that risk for the good of the community to explain your actions and direction of the game, rather than letting those people who will mock you no matter what you say, control the narrative, and portray your company in a certain way. If you don't come out of the shadows, get in front of the camera and talk to the community as a whole. So anyway, that's my opinion on the whole thing. And that's all I have for you today, but I want to hear from you. Do the typing, do the commenting. Let me know what you think about these changes. I really would. I love going through it, and, even if I don't respond to it, I'm looking at everything that everybody's saying, because I want to see your point of view and how you feel, because I think it's important to have the fingers on the pulse of the community. I've had some people tell me that they want the whole game to go in the direction of comp tournament strategy, which I think is a terrible, terrible idea. This game should always be viewed as a party game and more casual than comp perfect playing strategies. I think if you went in that direction of playing the game only as comp and, you know, perfect strategies, that you're going to kill the game. So, yeah, I want to hear what you think. Let me know. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so very much for watching. As always, I appreciate the time that you spend with me here on my channel. Don't forget to take care of each other in and out of the fog, and we'll see you next time. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye. It's a Gen Rush life for us. It's a Gen Rush life for us. Set a hiding, we do gens. Set a randoms, we got friends. It's a Gen Rush life